Hello, looks like I'm live now and I'm here by myself, and that's cool. Up. Why, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're well today. Um, Whoops. Okay, you didn't want to be live. All right, that's not Connie. But hello anyway. We are waiting for Connie to get on. That's who's going to be joining me today. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Qué bueno verte. Estamos esperando Connie y ella viene, ¿ok? Y ahora estamos esperando Connie. So we're waiting for Connie. Yay! Hi!
I'm being silly.
I love that.
I'm gonna change it later. But
Okay.
hi.
Hi. Oh, that's great. Hi, Mona. Wait, so how are you doing this? You're looking at the mirror. Um, yeah, how are you, what do you do? How are you doing that?
Into my mirror, and then I can flip it to my other side.
Oh, well, you can do whatever you want. If you would like the little person to be with us also, then they can. Okay.
For now.
Okay. All right.
Hi, Mona.
Yes. And Cody, hi. I don't, I never know if the person if that's their actual name, if this is Keith or Keith Cody, but whoever it is, we're happy to see you. So thank you for coming on. Yeah. How are you today?
I'm good. Good. I wanted to. Yeah, I was feeling very dancy, and it's very fitting because, like, I was thinking of um, my journey just the past year and how much you have influenced me too.
Oh.
And like moving my body and how that's reflecting on my 2D work. So
Okay, wait, don't start talking yet. Hold on. I was like, don't say
yeah,
anything really
no,
good. Don't say
maybe
anything really good. Well, actually,
because
we'll just go ahead and start because there's actual human beings on right now. So we'll just start now, if that's okay with everybody. And there's Talon. Hi, Talon. Um, yeah, so we might as well. Oh, yeah, we have 7 people. That's 7 important Cherokee numbers, so we better start now. Okay. Shio nigadu nui daidagwito anigilohi digiawi chigiduwagi naule chi madamaskit galshkishki naule udohi yu galielika chiwon ahni kohik. Uh, my name is Maura Gar. I've almost forgot which language I was going to start with next. Mi nombre es Maura Garcia. Soy indígena, soy Cherokee Maramesquite. Soy bailarina y estoy bien contenta que estoy aquí con ustedes hoy. My name is Maura Garcia. I'm Cherokee and Matamesquite. I am a dancer and a choreographer. That's my profession, and I am just really happy to be here with you all today. Um, I started these little artist chats because I started doing this in the time of COVID, in the time of COVID, uh, because I just wanted a space to connect with wonderful artists, cultural bearers, uh, creatives, just neat human beings. But I also realized that those conversations might be of use to other people. They might be inspirational. They might be help uplift people. So I started going live like this. And that's the purpose of these. We won't be super long today, but we're just going to have some conversation about specifically about transition in our careers as artists, transition in our work and our life, and the fears that come along with changing, and then the triumphs. as well. And so my guest here today is Connie Fiorella, and she is a fabulous human being. She is a wonderful visual artist. She's a muralist. She's a community organizer. She is an uplifter of her Peruvian culture as well, and an activist. And I'm just going to let her introduce herself.
Yeah, también quería hablar un poquito de español. Mi nombre es Connie Fiorella Fitzpatrick, nací en Lima, Perú, pero también viví la mayoría de mi vida en Puno y Arequipa en Perú. So yes, my name is Connie Fiorella Fitzpatrick. I am Peruvian, also American by time. And I spent the majority of my youth in the Andes region of Peru, in Arequipa and Puno. And that's why I have my little geckos here. That is called an gecko. And there's another one like way down there. You can't really see him. But they're for good fortune and for the future and wishes and things to come. So it's very fitting, I thought.
Thank you. Yes. Did you want to say anything else about your work or what you do?
Yeah. Thinking about, I mean, I'm definitely COVID times and future mom life and all. I wouldn't call myself a community organizer anymore, honestly. I don't know who's listening or who will listen, but I spent a lot of my earlier youth advocating for immigrant rights, among other topics, mostly because my mom was going through deportation, and it was a 10-year-long battle that went all the way to the Supreme Court. And
wow.
I worked with many folks in my community in Kansas for immigrant rights in general and other, among others. But yeah, COVID has really made me slow down and take care of myself more and think about me and my time and spend it with the people that I love and just kind of rebuild my roots here, especially as an immigrant. So yeah, in the future or the near future, I am definitely putting aside the activist part of me within the streets and policy. Well, maybe not policy. I'm still very interested in that realm. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. When people say activist, they think someone that's in the streets. A lot of times people will think the person in the streets, like, up against the men with the machine guns, and that is activism. But people forget, like, what you're teaching your child in your home, that's activism. What food you decide to choose, that's activism. And it's like a concentrated long-term activism, as opposed to maybe a kind of larger one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say just one time, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do understand you, and
yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, it's more activism at home and with love in my circle and group.
Yeah. Yeah. I always because I got to go to Standing Rock for just a day or two. I was there to deliver supplies from people from Lawrence, Kansas. So Haskell University delivered a bunch of supplies, and they needed somebody with the truck. So we went up there, and there were the people on the front lines, but there were also the activists that were there cooking. The grandmas back there cooking. There were the people receiving supplies. There were the people, taking care of the kids, and that's not what's concentrated on. But all of those people, everybody's needed. Everybody's needed for. So, I bet you are still doing activism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to learn Quechua, which is my native tongue. And someone I really care about shared with me a dictionary, and that reminded that I never learned how to write or read in Quechua.
Mm.
I just remember the words.
Well, yeah, our languages aren't really, they're not written. They're written now, but they're not meant to be written. So, uh. Well, I'm gonna start talking about language. I could sit here and talk about language all day, but like we won't do that. That wasn't our topic.
Yeah.
Our topic was the transformation, and the type of work that we have been making and that we would like to make. So I'm really interested to hear what you have to say about that. So tell me, yeah, what is about to explode, or what are you doing that is different and you're excited about?
Um, I'm really excited about. I'm definitely in a stage of rerooting myself. Um, in my little family with my son.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have been intentionally trying to get back into more Peruvian cooking. And one of my values is sustainability. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to merge all of that into 2D work. Um, yes, and it's been a very interesting topic for me, particularly sustainability, because being an immigrant and lower income, it's like, what does it mean to be sustainable? It's like it's actually really easy to be sustainable as lower income because literally nothing you do will impact. Like, like if you don't own a home or big land or like drive around or travel the world, like you're really not doing much of a negative impact. So I give
Mm-hmm.
myself permissions to use acrylic and things like that, like shiny stuff. And so I'm starting with rerouting myself, and I hope to. I'm not gonna show you my sketches yet, but I am working on some 2D work that is reflecting of Peruvian cuisine and my connection
Ooh.
to nature and rerouting myself here in Kansas.
Mm. It's funny you said that. I've heard this like 3, 4 times, um, talking with other women artists. Some of them are performing artists, some of them are uh, visual artists, but I keep on hearing people say that they want these things of home and art and professional, and they want them to come together, um, in a sustainable way. And people have started growing. I keep on talking with people who are beginning to grow, who are wanting to have their food and their production of food be intertwined with their making of art, so that we're not living these separate things.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, not to say, I think whenever you say anything in English, it sounds silly. I think sometimes, but it's almost like a reawakening of people. And I don't know if it's because of COVID. I don't know if it's the alignment of the stars. I don't know what it is, but um, that way of being, that is more like our indigenous way of being. There's no separate category from your work to your ceremony to your life. They're all like, they're not supposed to be separate. That doesn't even make any sense. And so I think, a lot of us are realizing we've been put in a kind of world where we're forced to make things separate, but they aren't separate, and they never were, and they never will, they never will be. We're just pretending that they are. And so it's interesting, that you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you're not going to show us any of your sketches?
No, but I am going to show you things that
Okay.
are inspiring. Well, I'll show you something very quickly it's actually my coffee table that I did with my toddler. I'm just gonna move it down.
Oh. How old is your toddler?
3. Maybe he's a kid now. I can't tell.
No, you can still say toddler. Yeah.
So those colors are my inspiration, and like,
Oh.
and
Wait, can we see again? Can we see again? Hmm.
so those are his marks. And
Oh.
it's just with leftover paint that I had, and we're just gonna continue to add to it. But I felt that that was a really good beginning stage to immerse myself back into the work that I wanted to do, because I want to start at my core, and I feel like my core is with my kid, because to me he's still a baby. Okay.
Yeah, he can still be a baby. He's not even in school yet, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, my inspiration is a lot of my cookbooks. This one my grandma gave to my mom, and it still has her handwriting. So like the bright colors, the dishes. There's this one that I really like. It's just the embroidery too. So it's generally super bright colors, simple drawings that were like merge to the work and food. And next season, of course, we're like coming to the cold season. I hope to grow some purple corn, Peruvian purple corn.
Ooh.
And ají amarillo, ají panca, just like my top 3 basics of Peruvian cuisine, and incorporate them. Like, 1, I want to have them canned for my whole year, so I'm set. 2, but I also want to have them as visuals to like study and look at like my roots, you know, my ancestors.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I just thought when you said that, I just thought of something I had never even thought about. You know, I also grow my tribe's traditional crops, and even some seeds that some of my elder cousins gave me that their, you know, mother used to grow, and they are stopped growing and they gave them to me and things like that. But I never, until you just said that, I never thought about the idea. Hi, Stony Ray. Or I should say halito. That's my Choctaw, like my one Choctaw word. But I never thought about it. Seeds, like we are made of our ancestors, you know, we come from our ancestral lines, but so do seeds. And so if we have our ancestral seeds from our homelands, they also have lines, you know? So in a way we're eating the same. We are the great 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 grandchildren of these people, and we are eating the great 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 grandchildren of those seeds. You know, I never thought about that until you said that. That's pretty neat. You know,
like you mentioned, the whole full circle of things that like are be one. But yeah, I hope to do that with yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you said maíz, corn, or I don't remember which language you said it anymore. It doesn't matter. We can say however many we want. But you said ají. Was that what you said?
Ají is pepper in Peruvian.
En vez de chile is ají.
Es en vez de chile, sí, es ají.
Okay. Oh, neat. All right. Thank you. Okay. And I wanted to also ask about the colors in that table, because when I look at those colors, they remind me of scarves. Like a lot of our women, and you know, there's scarves that you see throughout North America that people put on their heads, like ladies put on their heads, and those colors remind me of scarves. And so I was just I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, the colors were definitely they began with my kid and the kid paint that we had. But I have always been very attracted to, hi mom.
Wait, which person is your mom?
She's One Life.
Oh wow.
But the colors have always been super attractive to me, because there is this Peruvian style that of letreros, which are signs. Actually, I have a piece that my mom made. I have to. So this is like,
wow.
they're like super bright.
Wow.
Like, bus sign or in a like coffee shop, and so it's definitely very much part of my culture. My mom made that. Woo!
Yay! Woo! Gracias, muchísimas gracias, señora.
And it's just part of my being. And for a while, I was listening to the previous chat that you and Sydney were talking about censorship, and
Mm.
I lived in Kansas for a while, and particularly in Lawrence, like too bright, like you know.
Oh my God. I gotta tell you a story. So
Right.
I love bright, I was looking at my whole family one time and my mother, I had on like super bright green and yellow, and my father was wearing like, I don't know, purple, and my mother was wearing, red and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, maybe they're going to tell us to go back inside, But I'm not going to say which organization, but I was on a panel, trying to select artists, helping to select artists that were going, and I noticed that me and the other person of color, there was an artist, actually, it was Peruvian artist, and they had these beautiful, colorful paintings, but the colors were not uh, like Martha Stewart. They were just boom, boom, and we loved them. And our scores were like 10 for that person. And all of the Anglo people scores were like 3. And it was really interesting to me, you know.
But
And we lost
yeah,
that one because they were like, no, their compositions are too, what did they say? They said something like childlike, and I realized that we were in the midst of like a cultural thing at that moment, you know. Um, so very interesting.
yes. I think in that setting, the work that I'm going to make would be very much childlike.
Yeah, well, that's why I say childlike.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I wanna. Okay, so this is from Whitney Manny. I'm just saying that.
Whitney
When she,
Manning.
I love her work.
Hmm.
I wish I could dress like fully with all of her clothing. But anyway, back in topic. I keep veering off.
Oh, it's all right. We're in veer off land here. You're talking to me, so we can go like this. You know, Mona knows that. No, go ahead with what you're going to say though about you said you're talking about with your colors and the work that you're going to be doing. You feel uh, do you feel are you expecting to have a pushback and have yeah well actually let's just talk about that the when we change our work or
Mm-hmm.
our style of work that we're doing or when we want to go into a different direction, sometimes I know there can be pushback if the
Mm-hmm.
direction is not considered, you know, whatever. It kind of depends. Maybe if you're doing abstract work and you suddenly decide you're going to start painting realistic cats, people are like, "What the hell is that?" You know, there might be a pushback.
Mm-hmm.
So it could go either way, or I don't know. What are your thoughts or feeling about that? Because you mentioned that when you said your colors, like the being bright, the being
Yeah,
bombastic. Yeah.
I don't know how much of a home it has here in the Midwest. But
Mm,
I definitely know that I want to make that kind of work, and I'm excited to see who it attracts. So
mm,
I think that veering into a new path will definitely attract the people that are interested in that work, and
hmm.
and that's definitely a positive.
That's true. You know, I know I'm a very fearful person. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily think that, but I actually am. I'm very fearful about a lot of things like what people may think, or if I'm making somebody mad, or if I'm offending somebody, or if I'm going to upset my my family, this large group of people which thinks I'm a certain way, like a nice, sweet, respectable person or whatever. And so I'm fearful about those things. And so, uh, oops, I got lost in that. I completely forgot what I was going to ask you.
But fear,
Huh?
was it about fear?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, maybe, oh, I know what it was. That when we step out of that, right, into whoever we actually are in our lives, because our lives is the same kind of as our artwork, it also changes how we are once we start creating things that are truly from ourselves, you know. I realized that yes, there may be some people mad, but the other people who might not see themselves in the world, you know, they're like, oh, thank you, you know, thank you for being yourself, or creating work that is so colorful, or creating work that is so loud, or creating this type of work, because I was waiting for this, or now I feel inspired to do that, or oh, you know, I feel like we are being shown now. I don't, does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
any kind of attraction. Um, it's maybe weird to describe, but I think that, I mean, before COVID, of course, there's a reason why there's so many coffee shops and they still thrive, because they attract different people.
Mm. Hmm.
Um,
That's true. Yes. Yeah, it's all coffee. That's right. The coffee's not that different, you know.
no, it's just the ambience.
Yeah.
You want to drink it in
Yeah.
a or with bright light or lights. um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think similarly with art. So I'm excited who I will attract, who's attracted to the kind of brightness and work that I'll be doing.
Mm. Cool. Well, I'm sad when I'm happy we saw the table, and I know we'll get to see other stuff later. So I'll be patient. And your mother, who I don't know her name, has said, just be you, being a kind human being is what matters. Very beautiful thing. Um,
Mwah.
and yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I was going to ask you also, you mentioned a while back, you said something about that you were feeling dancy today, and you said something about movement. So I wanted to ask you about that. And I also wanted to ask if you had any questions for me, because I'm just blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just saw Panta make hearts. Okay.
I
I'm
know. Yay,
really
hearts.
with Panta. Can I say that in public?
What's that?
I did. I have really been enjoying getting back into dancing in general. And I couldn't believe I let go of it for a few years, especially
Mm.
like Latin music. And
Mm.
yes. And it really brought me back to like food and colors and my heart
Mm.
pumping and my joy coming back. And then I was like,
Mm.
the movement really woke up a lot. Like the memory, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, oh, that makes me so happy to hear. Ah, that's right. You know, it's like literal shaking up, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, there's my brother. Hello, Mark a little. How are you doing?
Hola, hola.
Um, yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, like the literal shaking up of those
Yeah,
parts of you that were lost somewhere in the
with the
recesses of your
tension.
body.
Yeah, and like not even like I'm not professional or anything, but it really just like
That's okay.
wakes it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear you're doing mediocre, Mark Little. I hope that you get better. Oh, yes. COVID fatigue is a real thing. Yes.
Yeah, home everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm curious of your direction, Mara, or Maura.
Mm-hmm.
Maura.
You can say Mora, you can say Maura, you can say
Maura.
Nuitai,
Okay.
como quisieras. Mm-hmm.
En mi lengua es
Um,
más fácil. O no.
no, sí, claro, claro que sí. We can't talk Spanish the whole time because I know there's people that
Yeah.
don't speak Spanish, pero podemos hablar un poco. Um, but yeah, so I know I have been going virtual, and I'm not saying I'm won't be performing live eventually, you
Mm-hmm.
know, someday. Um, but there are some things that you know, that we as like the professional Indigenous dancer people community have talked about, especially with a man named Jacob Boheme, who is in Australia. He's from Ghana people, I believe, in Australia. But he talked about, you know, we have, as Indigenous artists, we have work about connection to earth, and that's something that we're thinking about. But as performers, as touring performers, that means we're traveling all the time, you know, and sometimes we're on planes going from here to there to here to there. And what does that actually mean for footprints? You know, what does that mean if we're traveling so much? And, you know, he talked a lot about having work that instead of traveling from New York to San Francisco to Chicago in 3 weeks, maybe having work that takes place in New York for a month. So you're in New York for a month, you know, and then maybe you're somewhere very much closer for another month, so that these engagements and this way of working is longer, you know, longer in the community, longer in one space. And so that traveling is made with thoughts of how to not be using up gas, you know, how to not, basically. But touring has pretty much, at least for me and for most people, been shut down. That you know, like the performances, that hasn't opened up at no stage yet. Not in the what they call the U.S., you know. And probably won't for a while. And in terms of international things, you know, yeah, we can't, people that are flying in from the US can't even get in a lot of countries right now. Yeah, so now we know what it's like for people. We don't know what it's like, but it's like the way the US treats other people's passports. Now the US has to deal with that, right? And so, but one of the things I wanted to start doing even before the touring stopped was to do music videos, you know. And I started recording myself, my rehearsals, things that were not finished, which was something that I would not have done generally because I was on the road. And, you know, the idea of showing people my rehearsals or me just dancing around was like, no, that's not finished work. Why am I going to show that? But I started doing it as a way to kind of let down my guard, to make myself do something out of my comfort zone. And also as a way for content to communicate with people that I couldn't see. And I realized that people were really enjoying, you know, these, even if it was just improv, even if it wasn't, I shouldn't say just improv, even if it wasn't choreography, you know. And like people started sending me messages. Some people I knew, but sometimes they were strangers, and they'd send me messages, you know, oh, your dance gave me life, and I was feeling so down today, and then, you know, but then I got up and I moved myself, or, oh, please keep making these, you know, I look forward to them every day, and they make me smile and want to smile at other people, you know, things like that. And I thought, wow, you know, I guess it is important, you know, to relate and share whatever gift we have, that whatever light we have, you know, however we express the fire that we have in ourselves, that is life, to share that is important. It makes a difference for people. So that was something that really just, I never thought that. And I never, probably without COVID, would have started doing them in that way. But then I've also started doing music videos. So I did a music videos for 2 artists that had songs that were already made, and they allowed, you know, I said, okay, well, can I do a music video? And they said yes. And recently I've done music videos where the song hasn't been released yet. And, you know, I created the choreography, and they're going to be released. So right now there are 3 music videos that are in the works. Talon, actually, I think I don't know if he's still on here. Yeah. One of them is Don't Whistle at Night. Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you, Tom. And he's on that song, and that's going to be coming out. And then another one is Horizons, done with my partner James Pacotis, and that's going to be coming out. And then another one is like a dance on film video with Alexa Dawson's song. So those are coming up. So that is a direction that I've been moving into. It kind of all had to do with me sharing, me realizing I can reach people in a sustainable way through music video, and also that I have secretly become slightly, or it's not a secret, I've become a little bit disillusioned with arts organizations and realizing that the world of fine arts is no less part of the whole capitalist colonizing system than anything else, actually. And, people do things within organizations, whether they're working in commercial world or nonprofit world, but I realize I have permission not to stick in that little box,
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
feel that. I have had to tell myself that I make art for my growth, because it's really easy to veer into other people's ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and this is a very, I think a lot of us, if you like, and you probably understand this, if we've been working in that world of, or concert dance is what they call it in dance, or fine arts, where your work is going to be for, in a museum, or even, in some ways, even if it's going to be for community, social purposes, if you decide to make a piece of artwork for a tofu company and it's on there, they're like, oh no, that's bad. And I was like, why? Why is that bad? And I realized I had been trained I've been trained, and it was kind of like they're holding you in this world. And I was like, no, I want to have dance over here and dance over there. And, I don't want to have dance in one place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, who you partner with, what you do. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I guess I'm doing that, changing in some ways in that way. I also, I want to have work, I want to be allowed to express sensuality in my work. I don't want, and so that is something that I've been exploring more. And so I actually will, I'm going to, I'm going to announce it now for the people that are up here. I'm going to start an OnlyFans page. I have that. Because actually that's the only way I can legally share some of that work, unfortunately, and make money, you know. So I'll be doing that. I have the music videos. Let's see what else. I think I've been creating a lot of, I just finally named it today, digital dance art, because I have a visual art background as well. So I call it like the manipulation of footage, but with color, with not for it to be done in a way that's anyway realistic necessarily.
Yeah.
So I can't, I had no intention to start doing that. I just started doing it a few months ago, and I can't seem to stop. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep on doing this. I have no clue where that will lead, but the digital dance art. But yeah, I think I'll just continue doing that. So
I have really enjoyed your videos. It feels like with the digital overlap of it, it feels like a paintbrush is moving around. Like, almost. Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So thank you. Thank you. So I've also started an LLC. Maura Garcia Dance is now an LLC. And some of this stuff I'm going to have like a big announcement about the different parts of what Maura Garcia Dance is officially doing now. So yeah, I hope that made sense, and I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, wow. There's a lot of change, and that reminded me of like some things that I do too. There's like progressively like several projects and then they're probably all gonna come out at the same time because I keep bouncing around from each, and it sounds like it's going to be similar for you.
What are your projects? You've hinted at a little of them, so please tell us, what are your projects that you have?
Well, there are some more private projects that I'm working on with my friend Kamala Eaton in Wichita. She's a fantastic painter. And we're just doing poster work, honestly, for some, I don't know if I can mention the campaigns yet.
Okay, well, you can, that's okay. Poster work for secret campaigns.
Secret campaigns.
Okay.
And things that I hope to do soon. I don't know if Carlos is still here. There's this fantastic Peruvian restaurant in Wichita, Kansas, and my mom and almost every Peruvian person that has lived in Wichita knows about it, and everybody knows each other, and they have survived the pandemic, like probably thrived through it. And Carlos, a friend who's a visual artist from Peru that lives in Wichita, and I want to do a mural out there because it's like this is such a good combination of what we both want to do with food and culture and arts and mural, and yes, so hopefully all the things align. Permissions are different in every city for public work, so
what's the name of this restaurant for the next time I'm in Wichita?
Yes, Gabby's Peruvian.
Gabby's Peruvian. Okay. And so then you also have your sketches that you're not going to share just yet, but we can see them later. And are the sketches, can you tell us what they're for, or will they be, are the sketches the final thing that they will be, or are they sketches for a larger piece or a different piece?
Yeah, so I have been working on something interesting. Okay, so I got this like super big roll of paper that I actually found out is much cheaper at Restaurant Depot than like at the art store.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like 1/3 of the cost or something ridiculous. And I have been just compiling all the patterns and foods and line drawings of myself and abstractions of my son and folks that I care about, putting it together. And it's definitely going to be a little bit more abstract than my regular work, but so I have it all in a big sheet of paper, and from there I plan to carve out the compositions, because for me it's like really hard to look at a rectangle and then just be like like that's not how my brain works. I have to have like something huge that I can draw around and then pick what I want, because the general vibe and feeling of it, it's all gonna be there. So I'm gonna go from there and then crop it out into a series.
Neato. It's interesting hearing you say that after watching Mona do her mural, because just listening to how people deal with a huge rectangle space that is supposed to be filled, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's neat. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited for you. Yeah, I'm excited for these things. I wanted to ask the people listening if they had any questions. I forgot, did they have any questions for us? And I'm getting used to saying this, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat. So.
Oh, Mona, heart. Cute.
Oh. Oh, your heart came before mine. Let's see. No questions as of yet. Okay. Very good. Well, I don't even know what time it is, but is there anything else you'd like to tell us or say or ask or express?
No, I'm just like super grateful that you started this, and also to hear
Oh,
your voice again. And yeah, I know that you're not in Lawrence anymore, but oh, yes.
oh, oh. Well, I might as well say for the few people that are here, my partner and I we will be relocating to Tulsa. Yeah, we're relocating to Tulsa. Yeah, so actually, I won't be that far away
What?
anymore. Yes, yes, yes. He won the Tulsa
That's
Remote Fellowship. Yeah. So you're invited, you know,
congratulations.
when, yeah, thank you. Once the COVID stuff goes away, you're invited to Tulsa. Oh, yes, I didn't tell. Some people I forgot to tell. Sorry, people.
Are
Yeah, I'm
we're
moving to
so
Tulsa. I haven't even had a chance to tell people because
okay.
it's
Well,
only.
changes.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's just something that he found out like maybe now it's 2 weeks, maybe not even quite 2 weeks ago. And so we were like, and I haven't even told everybody yet. So now I'm telling you, and you're invited to Tulsa. And I plan to be in Lawrence anyway, because I have, extended family people there. So, yeah.
Yay! Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Thanks to Wolf, my place is always yours. So,
Igualmente, mi casa es tu casa, para que tú sepas.
gracias. Salud.
Mm. We did have one question from your mother, actually, and this is a good question. Would we see a combination of both of your work in the future? And I think that would be wonderful. I'm
Ooh,
thinking about dancing and
all
colors
right.
dancing, personally. That's what I was thinking about when I saw your table, and so
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah. And digital work. Okay.
yeah, we should think about this.
I'll think of, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
definitely open for it. Gracias, mama.
yeah, I know. Yes, I'm going to think about it too. Um, yeah. So, well, I know I'm surprised that you've had this long of quiet. Your little one maybe is asleep. I don't know. But, but I will let you go now. But thank you for all your, beautiful words and for sharing your work with us and sharing your spirit with us. Um, and thank you for everyone for showing up today and listening. And I might as well say I will be talking to Talon next in 2 weeks, I think, on the 16th. I can't tell yeah, that's 2 weeks.
Woohoo.
Yeah. And yeah, so love to everybody, love to you, Connie, and your family, y que estés bien. Y vamos a estar en contacto acerca de una colaboración, por favor. Me encantaría hacer eso.
A mí también. 100%.
Mwah.
Chao.
Ok, hasta luego. Bye, everybody. Doda gohan negado.